Unreliable employees. What do you do about unreliable employees? We're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Now today's show is brought to us by housecleaning360.com. Now did you know if you need your oven cleaned out or you need special projects like you need your garage cleaned out or your attic cleaned out, you can find a person to help you on housecleaning360.com. They have a whole array of people who service all different aspects of your home. It's a 360 view of the perfect home. And you can find those people at housecleaning360.com. Now, here's the catch. If you offer oven cleaning or freezer defrosting or garage cleaning or attic cleaning or any special projects, make sure your business is listed at housecleaning360.com. We are a worldwide referral network. And so anywhere you are in the world, we want to help you find your customers. That is our goal for you. Okay, housecleaning360.com. Now on to today's show, which is about unreliable employees. Can I just get that out of the way? Who wants unreliable employees? Because you are going to run into them. Now, how you manage them is going to be the secret to the success in your business. So when you very first hire somebody on day one of the interview, when they come for the job, they're going to tell you they are reliable. People are trained to tell you they are reliable because they want the job. What you need to find out in that interview is why do you want that job? Because there are house cleaners that are motivated by an array of different things. If they have food to feed their family and that is a motivation, okay, that is a motivation. But if they have no motivation whatsoever and it's not money that motivates them and it's not free time and it's not whatever, they just think they need a job. You need to find out what that is so that on days when they become unreliable, you can move in to one of their hot buttons and remotivate them to keep going. All right, so on day one, it's important that you explain, I need reliability. If I have a customer and we promise them a house cleaning, and then I hire you and you are the reliable employee, and for whatever reason you are not reliable, then I have a problem. And so if I hire you for this job, I need to make sure that I'm not going to have a problem with you later on. And they say, oh yes, I'm totally reliable. You can count on me. Great. If I can't count on you, here's what happens. And you need to set that up from day one. All right, here's what does happen. A lot of times in the house cleaning business, and we can't ignore this element of it, your house cleaners are going to leave and they're going to go start their house cleaning businesses somewhere else. They're going to do what they do for you somewhere else for probably even your same customers. And so I don't want this to happen to you. It happens in this industry. It happens in lots of other industries. But the reality is this, and I don't want to paint an ugly picture, but every single time you, as a legitimate business owner, pick up a house cleaning client, you are taking that business away from someone else. So if someone has a house cleaner, they replace that house cleaner and they hire you, you just took business from that house cleaner. So we all take business from each other, whether we like it or not, whether it's part of our business plan or not, whether we're intentional about it or not is irrelevant, okay? We all take business from other people and your employees will take business from you. So on day one, ask your employee, are you coming in as an employee or are you coming in as an independent contractor? Because if you're coming in because you're going to start your own house cleaning business and you will have your own clients and your own customers, then I will pay you differently and I will treat you differently than my employee. And so if you bring them in, now you have a choice. If you are unreliable, you do not get to be an employee. Employees get the benefits. Employees get to wear the uniforms. They get to drive the company cars. I take taxes out for the employees so that they can later claim this on their Social Security or whatever it is for your country. If you're an independent contractor, you are on your own. You default over to this status. We will literally fire you from being an employee. We will rehire you as an independent contractor and your terms will change. So if you call in sick X number of times and you got to paint the rules, figure out what your rules are, figure out how many points or how many late calls or how many tardy calls or how many no-shows or sick calls or whatever it is you allow. You got to figure out what works for your business. I know one business that has a 40 call out policy. If you call out 40 times, you're fired. Wow. Somebody told me this yesterday, and I'm laughing hysterically because I would have fired you long before 40 callouts. Okay, sometimes people have more leniency than others, but figure out what works for you and spell that out in the rules in the very beginning. Now, I had a girl work for me, and she was completely unreliable, and I loved her. She was an amazing person, and she was a really great cleaner. And so I fired her from this status and brought her over to this status, and she became an independent contractor. And she did have a few other jobs she cleaned, but I don't know really if she did or how she did or when she did, because every time I called her, she was available, which is kind of spooky. But here's how it worked. So I had my regular team, and my team would go out and they would clean houses, and they did what they did. And if somebody called in sick or there was an emergency or whatever, I would call her. So she was on call. It was random. She might not work for weeks. She might not work for months. She was just on call. And I would call her and say, hey, I need your help. Are you available today? And her pay was different from the employee pay because I would pay her more money because she was on call and she was random and did not have the regular income coming in. And she usually said, oh, yes, I'm available. And she would come over and she would clean and she would do an amazing job. And then she would disappear. Like I didn't need her anymore or whatever. She might work for me for 2 or 3 days while someone was sick, or if someone was going through maternity leave or whatever. And then she would just disappear again and kind of go off and do her own thing. What was really weird about this scenario is she would hold on to my checks for like 3 months. She didn't even cash her checks. And so it wasn't money that motivated her. I have no idea why she would even say yes when she wasn't even going to cash the checks that I gave her at the end of the workday. And I paid her at the end of every day to ensure she would come back again tomorrow. Like, hey, if I get paid today, there's reason for me to come back tomorrow because I know I'm going to get paid again. I mean, you have to treat them differently than you do employees. But there are employment gaps. And if you can work out deals with the unreliable people, I don't know why, but there are house cleaners that are really good at what they do, but their heart is not in it. And they don't want to do this every day for a living, and they're not good business people. And they are independent contractors, and they have their own accounts that they do randomly. And they bill you separately. It's a separate process, but they're great fill-ins for gaps in employment. So if somebody just quits, but you have houses to clean and houses to service, you call that person back and say, hey, can you fill in? I just lost an employee. And they're like, sure, no problem. So it's really great to have people that are unreliable employees and figure out a way to still make them work with your business. Now, it's not an ideal situation. In a perfect world, everyone would be employees and they would all show up on time and they would never get sick and they would never have family drama. And okay, that's utopia, and that does not exist. So as a small business owner, every single day that you wake up, you have to remotivate all of your employees, and you have to be prepared for that weird moment where somebody calls in sick or somebody doesn't show up. And every day you ask yourself, did all my people show up today? And you go through it every single day because guess what? That's what being a small business owner is all about. So unreliable people, they can still work for your business. You just have to figure out a way to work with them in a way that they can work back with you and have that agreement from the very beginning. Because the agreements I have to this day are beautiful, and it might not necessarily be house cleaning. I might need something else. Hey, you're available for hire. Can I hire you for this particular set of tasks? And they're like, sure, I need the money. Sure, I'm on my way over. And they're great people. They're just really unreliable sometimes. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents for today. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.